What's up, Steven?
Just getting ready for a big premiere.
Look at you, can tell.
Yeah.
You got all dressed up. Got the blue flannel on there, I see.
Yep, playing the old phone games here while we just wait for it to happen. We're excited for everybody to check it out.
Manual, no, not manual focus. Autofocus. Oh, there we go. It'll fix it.
Yeah.
I'll show you what we're working with here. Got a camera for vlogging now. Got my sports coat. This is all dry cleaned and fancy. My shirt and my suit, and I'm gonna put it on. What's up, guys? Wes here. I am checked in at the beautiful Radisson Hotel in Duluth, Minnesota. We're here for a film premiere, our feature film, The Hand That Feeds, which is what took me away from you guys for a little bit. I'm here with my friend Trish. Say hi, Trish.
Hello.
I'm going to turn around. You can even flip that around.
What's up?
So we have a lot of history here in Duluth. There's a lot of hidden gems of haunted locations, and I figured I'd maybe take you on a tour of some of those places. A couple of years ago, I was here filming another found footage type film where I kind of basically play myself as a ghost hunter, and we did all of that at the Nopeming Sanatorium, pretty world famous haunted location. It has housed the likes of Zach Baggins and Ghost Adventures, and it has also had Dakota Layden and the Destination Fear crew, which I had the privilege of being a part of that episode. Travel Channel's Destination Fear. If you got Discovery Plus, you can check it out. Season 2, Episode 1. You'll see my ugly face on there. Unfortunately, we don't have the okay to go on those grounds at this point, but I figured I'd take you around to some of the other little gems Duluth has to offer. So, yeah.
I brought stuff more for myself because energies have a weird way of sneaking their way into my body. Especially ones that I don't want. That are not necessarily human, I guess. This is just like my travel kit. So in here I have Organite. It's a man-made substance. I'm not 100% like a master at any of this. So this is Organite. It is basically an organic and a non-organic material that you put together. So there's like gold flakes in here, there's bird feathers, there's like different crystals and stuff mixed with resin to kind of just... It's a very good way to keep EMFs away from your body, which are like the electric magnetic field. I brought some protection crystals that I've worked with. I brought a pendulum that I've worked with, so it knows my energy and it knows what's not my energy. So I'm going to use that when we're there to, like, I don't know, whatever you want to learn.
Keep the bad spirits away.
Keep whatever you want to learn. This is moon water. This is the latest full moon from Easter. So this is pink moon water. So I always carry moon water with me because fucking why not? I have my chakra sage. That's a mouthful. If we can do smoke wherever we are, it's a good way to cleanse at least my body. I have a sound bowl if we can't use smoke, because there are some places that you can't smoke in. So this is a good way to clear energy and create a safe space where you don't have to fill up the air. And then this is my veil, and it's to protect me personally from other people's energies that are just out in the world, out and about, and to kind of keep me in my own little white bubble of protective, like, energy. And then this is just a very big protection crystal that I was like, oh, this fits perfectly right there. So yeah, perfect. That's what I brought.
What are the potato chips for?
That's just because I'm a little hangry.
There it is. There it is. Hello. Just doing a little vlogging. So we're gonna go down to Canal Park, take a little walkie poo around.
That's the depot right there. Go past the sign. Let's go.
On the depot?
Yeah.
Turn left. Then turn left onto West Railroad Street.
Copy that, Susan. There it is. Go get that ship. Oh, she's beautiful. Okay, let's stop there first. Just wanna-
Turn left onto West Railroad Street.
We're gonna go in here. We're going here. Look at that big, beautiful bench. You know how like when the fog covers the horizon,
Yeah.
but the ships are so big you can see them, so they look like they're floating.
Mm-hmm.
A cool optical illusion. Or maybe the ships are floating and it's paranormal. I guess we'll never know.
They're floating on the water.
Above the water,
Oh.
in fact.
Oh.
Good B-roll. Oh fuck! They wanted me to go that way. That is where Russell Biggs lives in our feature film that we're here to premiere. Second time I ever flew a drone. I almost flew it right through the window up there, and it's in the movie. I did my job.
I found a pigeon. I'm coming. I had to stop and film a pigeon.
May 14th.
What?
It says free parking, October through May.
Sweet, let's go.
Sick. It's really big up close. Pictures don't do it justice. We are standing right next to the William A. Irvin. So this is a massive freight liner, and it was named after William A. Irving, who was the fourth president of the steel industry, primarily launched here in Duluth, Minnesota. The ship was built in 1937, had its first voyage in 1938, and mostly carried freight through the Great Depression. Sometime after the ship had its final voyage, it was later refurbished and placed here, right in this canal here in Canal Park, and just kind of serves as a museum and sort of a site for visitors to come. I remember coming here even as a kid and seeing this place. They do a lot of stuff during Halloween. They turn it into a haunt, and people can go in and visit, and they have actors and everything. But the one story I always remember as a kid is the story of the woman in the white dress. Anytime it said there's a lot of hotels surrounding this place, and if you watch long enough, a lot of people tell the story of the woman in the white dress dancing along the deck of the ship, which naturally could be a real person, but a lot of people tell that story. Nobody's allowed in or on that ship unless it's for a tour. So that's one of the most fundamental stories of haunting here. Makes it a pretty popular attraction for paranormal enthusiasts. The other story is the captain. A lot of times you can see the captain on the deck making adjustments, much like he would have, tweaking and making sure everything is good to go, because these freights would take to Lake Superior, and it's a massive lake. So it could be out there for days and days and days. So it's important for them to make sure everything is in tip-top shape before they set out for their voyage. So if you are in Duluth and you are in one of these surrounding hotels late at night, you got nothing better to do, light a couple candles, watch out the window, maybe get a camera on it, and you just might see the captain, maybe the woman in the white dress, maybe both.
My name is Tricia Buerke, and I've had some pretty strange things involving the paranormal happen in my life since high school, I guess. They just kind of follow me around. Specifically, what people know as shadow people in like lucid dreamings and like dream spaces.
So you and I have known each other for a while.
Mm-hmm.
And we knew we were going to be up here in Duluth for our big film premiere.
Mm-hmm.
And we're going to go on a little tour to some of these different haunted places in Duluth. And so when we were talking about paranormal stuff specifically, you had kind of told me a little bit about your history, and more specifically what I would consider shadow people and what you referred to as shadow people.
Yep.
Tell me a little bit about that.
Oh gosh. So it actually started when I was a sophomore in high school. I used to fall asleep on the phone with my boyfriend at the time. His name was Keith. We would like the stereotypical like lovers like, I'm gonna fall asleep to your voice. We would do that, but he would never fall asleep. I was always the one that fell asleep, and I had started practicing lucid dreaming. So
Sure.
just being able to control my own dreams inside of dreams and knowing that I was in a dream. And in the process of falling asleep for lucid dreaming, you're conscious. You know that you're conscious, but I would always get stuck before I would fall completely into like REM cycle sleep. And Keith would always be on the phone with me. He would just be doing something like playing video games or whatever. And he would start to hear me kind of like talk and like whimper and start making noises. And what was happening is I was getting stuck in like a sleep paralysis state. And always in the corner of my room, there would be these, I think there was like 3 or 4 like really tall, humanoid looking shadow like blurs. Just always chilling in the corner of my room, and then like they would slowly progress towards me and like just get closer and closer. And it would
happen more than once?
More than once. It happened for almost every time I would try to fall asleep, even if I wasn't trying to lucid dream. It would always happen as I would get stuck, and they would just start coming towards my bed, and then Keith would literally be on the other end of the phone, like yelling, like, Tricia, wake up! Like, you're sleeping, like, you gotta wake up, come on, like, wake up.
Would you be able to like hear him calling out to you?
When I fall asleep, sometimes it's gotten a little bit better since I've gotten older. There's times where I fall asleep where my eyes are open, and then I'll like sit up in bed, or I'll be laying in bed and I can see the room around me perfectly, like as it is, totally normal. Like I know I'm awake, but then dream aspects will start happening. Like there was one time where I was asleep and I was like, why are the cooks at my job's heads floating around my room? Like just really like they'll mix, but I can't close my eyes and I can't go to sleep. But every now and then shadow people will start like filing into the corner and just kind of like emerging. If you look up sleep paralysis throughout history, it's always depicted as this like really ugly woman like sitting on your chest. And that's who sits on my chest specifically. And she sat on my chest before I even looked up sleep paralysis.
Do these things still happen to you, like today?
Yup. My now partner, Sully, me and him were sleeping, and he told me the next day, we woke up, and he goes, do you remember what you said to me last night? I was like, no, because I was sleeping. And he said, you sat up in bed, asked, are those 2 guests? And pointed to the corner of our room. And apparently I described shadow people. Like, are the 2, like, black, fuzzy... Like, I described black, fuzzy, humanoid-looking people. And so I was like, are those 2 guests? And thank God he didn't say yes. Like, that's my big thing that I've always told him. Like, if I talk about people, or if I talk about, like, entities or something being in my vision, in my space when I'm sleeping or at all, don't say yes. Don't let them into our space. Just say, like, no, you're not invited, wasn't talking to you. And then after he, like, kind of dismissed the fact that I was seeing these shadow people in my dream again, he ran out and it was the night of the full moon on Easter this year. He ran out and made me full moon water because he thought I needed it. And I was like, well, thank you for that, because I forgot to make that. But, like, he was kind of freaked out, and he's a skeptic, and, like, he was like, I don't like when you talk about people, because it's happened multiple times.
So our first stop on our personal Duluth haunted tour is a place that really flips the script and takes a place that would otherwise be a normal resting spot. And given the dark history of Duluth and some of the ailments and troubles of the time, it makes this place anything but.
I'm gonna leave this in here.
We are making our way into the Greenwood Cemetery. So as I said before, a place that would generally be a resting spot for people when they pass. This is just not that scenario. Starting in the 30s, tuberculosis was a huge epidemic that we knew basically nothing about, and still don't technically have a cure for. And the nature of this cemetery is that it wasn't what we would typically remember as like funeral services or burials. The only way that they could think to handle the bodies of people passed from tuberculosis to stop the spread was to bury them fast. And that's what this cemetery is all about. Fast burial, little to no service, and most of the people dead probably didn't have any family or any opportunity for people who maybe knew them to say goodbye. That sucks.
My heart's
We're using a K2 meter. Let's see if we can pick up any kind of energies. We're gonna do it kind of quick because it's raining and it's really cold out here. But this is the Greenwood Cemetery. So a lot of death, little closure. And this is abandoned now, isn't it?
Yeah.
You said? Yeah, I mean, there's no real road other than what we walked in on. And I don't know if it was any different, but there's no like headstones, right? So when we say we're walking into a cemetery, you think of headstones that people have made as like a memoriam for people to go and visit their loved ones. As I said, this isn't that kind of cemetery. So maybe there were some headstones back in the day. It's really old, and it's just because they're not using it anymore, but I'm willing to bet that they probably just didn't have anything more than a stick in the ground, if even that. So
I saw two.
Are there two back there?
Two stones in the ground.
Yeah. Not seeing anything here, but Greenwood Cemetery. So just like we had mentioned, as Sully pointed out, which we'll introduce him in a minute, we have stones with numbers on them. No names, no messages, no dates. Literally just plots in the ground where I assume they just had to dump these bodies really quick.
The numbering system is just odd.
Very strange. Maybe it's the amount of people buried in that one spot. Because if they mass graved them, you know. Which is awful to think about. Here's another one. Right here.
It's 71 under 14 again.
Ooh, cinematic. Here we are. Smells like it. One thing that I want to point out that a lot of people don't seem to realize about Duluth is that, I mean, it's primarily all native land. So a lot of museums and different things that you see in most places that don't have any kind of history all start with Native American heritage. So it's nice to see, especially this day and age, those sorts of respects being paid. Also at our award ceremony last night, it was neat. Some of the movies, some of the grants that were given were to tell these stories. So go ahead. Thank you. And then up to that. And then down downstairs we go. So we are at the Duluth Depot, or the Duluth Train Depot. Originally built in 1892, serviced 7 major, Trish is my informational helper here, but 7 major train lines back in its day. Has now been preserved as a really, really nice museum for us to kind of see. You can take a look into the history. There's pictures, there's everything. One of the most common sightings that people have is that of a little girl in white garbs, and she's popped up. Several people have recalled this sighting of this girl, and it's believed that her spirit is attached to probably one of the relics or artifacts that has been preserved, which is a pretty common thing in most museums. Everything that is kept on display always has a history. There's always some form of energy, one way or another, attached to that, and it would make sense that spirits would make themselves known through that. This is pretty awesome. How many times you get to step inside an old train? Imagine this is the motor. I'm pretty sure that's the the motor for the train. You feeling anything?
No, not really. This keeps bumping up though.
Does it? We're getting some spikes on the K2 meter. It's a good sign. K2 meter is going to measure EMF energy, and that is what we believe spirits can manipulate or manifest with. So if we get a spike on the K2 meter, it means one of two things. Either there is some form of paranormal presence. I'm going to say that most likely it's coming from the electricity that's powering the lights. It's a really tight space in here. So to be practical, electromagnetic energy comes from electricity. And that could be it, but who knows? Well, I mean, that kind of debunks that, actually. So I just explained the K2 meter. I figured it would be worth it to try to test it out. And as you can see, I mean, these look like pretty old bulbs, but not getting any spikes. I would imagine this is, obviously nothing coming from there. If there's any energy in here, if you'd like, you can come and touch this thing. It'll make our little lights go, and then we know that you're actually here with us. Was this where you were getting it, you think, in here? No, was it out there?
It was out there. It was out there, and then it was outside of the train before we got on.
Okay. Well, let's see if we can. K2 meters are pretty accurate, deciphering, like kind of filtering out high voltage electricity just so we can keep it more accurate. But. Tight quarters in here. I wouldn't have wanted this job. Sully's got the coffee.
I'm just, yeah, something.
Oops, sorry.
I'm a conductor. Mr. President, choo choo.
Nothing but the lights.
Funnily enough, the post office still looks just like that.
Yeah? That's pretty cool.
Is it spiking? Holy shit.
Is
From what?
there anything over here, though?
Let's, I don't see any,
Is this
don't
like
see
right
any
here?
cords of any kind. Let's see on the back. No, that is just wood back here.
To the next car. Because it goes up.
That is,
And it's not the fixture above you.
no, because it goes away once she gets up there. That's really crazy.
Do you guys hear a hum?
They
Come out there?
But there's like nothing, there's nothing in here.
Because it's not on this.
The hum is from all over them. So.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
What is it about this thing? I mean,
There's-
I'm not seeing any electricity, but there's places it could be built in,
Yeah.
but why?
Oh, there is a. What is that? I can't see what that is.
Nothing.
That's a. Well. I can't see what it is. Oh, there's wires coming through it. Yeah, there's a huge wire going straight down.
Okay.
Debunked.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Oh. We are in the underground, so this is a theater attached to the depot, right? But I'm guessing built afterwards. I don't know. But I don't know. I was feeling kind of pulled in here, and figure we'll just spend a minute. I have Ghost Tube, which has a couple different tools sort of built into one app, and see if we get anything to come through. One of the tools on here that I like the most is the Obelisk. It's a word generating application, so just like with most of these tools, spirits can use these words and spit them out for me. Is there anything in here with us that would like to make its presence known? You can hit the K2 meter here. You can spit some words out on this thing. I got it open and ready for you. Is there anybody here? So one of the details about the little girl story is that one of the curators for some of these exhibits was actually the first one to see this girl. He was going through what we believe was this wicker basket, maybe something else, but something made of wicker, and realized that the girl was locking eyes with him. Years later, during a wedding, bride was going through some photographs. I believe they saw that same girl, not by the wicker basket, but just sitting in the corner hugging her knees. So anytime we have a story that is being recanted by different people who have no reason to be connected or have ever spoken, when those people tell the same story and see the same thing, that's what makes us really question if it's genuine, or are they just stories that are kind of finding a life of their own. Decapitation. No wonder this place is haunted.